Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Warning Mood. I'm Lou here with Jason
Hello.
and Gimli,
Hi.
and we have more tech, video games, movies, everything, the news that you care about. It's here, and we're about to talk about it. And Jason, what are we playing today?
We are playing XCOM Declassified, the Bureau, or I said that backward. It's the Bureau XCOM Declassified.
Way to go. Episode ruined.
We're off to a great start.
I'm fired.
So tech news. You hear about Ubisoft no longer making games for Wii U?
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Why are we not surprised? Why are we all three of us not surprised?
Wait, did you mention M? It was only M-rated games?
Well,
M and T, I
M and
thought.
T rated games, so
Yeah.
mature
M-
and teen rated games no longer for the Wii U from Ubisoft,
Yes.
which is basically what they make.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Wii U's not the platform for them. I mean, yeah, they have their... Nintendo does have their T-rated games, but
True, yeah.
I mean, Twilight Princess was T-rated, I thought, and the Smash Brothers was going to be T-rated, I think. But
think it is, yeah.
as for the M games, yeah, like I don't think there's much of a market for them on the Wii U.
I think from a tech standpoint, a lot of it has to do with the system that they're making these games for. So it's so much easier for a company like Ubisoft to develop a game for, say, the PC and then port it across the Xbox One or the PS4.
True, yeah.
Yep.
And when you look at the Wii U, tech-wise, it's using old software, old hardware. It's using old stuff that's trying to run games that are being made for newer technology. And it just costs them so much money to be basically developing two games at the same time.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
see it. That's...
And it really comes down to the money.
Who wants to know?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much.
what wasn't the last one that they made? Yeah, I think they said that the last one was Watch Dogs that they made.
Yeah.
And I
that's-
can definitely understand why that didn't do well on the Wii U. I don't even think it did well on last gen, like 360, PS3. Because I think I think a good majority has already moved on to next generation.
I would say
Yeah.
so. By
Yeah.
now, yeah, definitely. Looking at Sony's worries that we'll talk about later on.
Oh yes,
True.
interesting worries. About that matter.
Yeah. So,
So what's next?
that was a quick one. It's quick
It was.
because it's such a simple
It's
topic.
simple.
but
Yeah, it's
it's
if you know
worth noting.
about technology, you know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, and this is a very interesting thing for Xbox, actually. Anything below 1080p on Xbox is unacceptable. Who said that, Jason?
I forget exactly who it was, but it basically it was a story associated with Diablo 3. Before it was released, I guess Blizzard wanted it to be running on both platforms 60 frames per second. They could not get up to 1080p at 60 frames with the Xbox One, so they downgraded it to 900. And Microsoft says, no. Unacceptable, you will get it at 1080p. So I guess Blizzard basically had to down it to, I don't know if it was 30 frames per second or they just downed it to like something in between, but they had to down the frame rate a little bit and to hit it to that 1080p mark.
So we had.
But, I mean,
they had to
it's-
downgrade. They had to downgrade to make the upgrade.
I mean, in their defense, in the defense of Microsoft,
What's happening here?
to me, in my opinion, frames per second is just a number.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you get less motion blur. You'll get like a lot of the movements are a lot smoother, and on the faster, frame rates. But honestly, it's just a number. And I think when a lot of people
I gotta get out of here.
get upset about 30 frames per second versus 60, I think it's kind of I just don't think it's fair to the developers that
Yeah.
they're making it so critical
I think.
on the game itself.
I think it
Stay low
it
and
kind
move.
of forces into light an issue that the Xbox One has, and it's the fact that it has a weak GPU. For a system that's supposed to be next generation, supposed to be the best, as they say, of the next generation, it can't handle a previous generation game at a native 1080p with 60 frames per second.
It's hilarious though.
Yeah, and it's kind of worrisome.
Well, I mean, it's still early, because remember, when Xbox 360 first came out, they were running their games in 480p. Like, I don't even think 1080p was even a thing yet. I don't even think 720p was a thing yet.
What is this?
And a lot of those new games too, like I was looking at the graphics comparisons too. Like I was looking at, games like Dead Rising, and I know Quake 4 was released on it too. It was the same textures as the later regular Xbox games, like the last gen stuff. So I think we're still in that transition period. I think it's going a lot slower than people anticipated. And what I'm noticing too is like really the biggest step from the last gen appeal, like the details in the graphics on last gen between this gen. I think the biggest jump that I've seen is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Okay.
Like the stuff that we've seen from the Fox engine, like that PT demo was on the Fox engine, the same engine that Metal Gear Solid 5 is being put out on, and it almost looked real life.
Yeah.
Like all the screen caps I've seen of that game, like it's just I've been looking at it as like, this looks like I'm looking at a photograph, not a game.
We mentioned it last week that the PT was phenomenal looking, photorealistic.
And they even downgraded the graphics to make it look more indie. To confuse, so they wouldn't give it away.
Kojima apologized for the low quality of the graphics.
That's hilarious.
He's being hard on himself.
Yeah, and knowing Kojima is he's super critical about everything, but he's super critical, hypercritical about himself. So he's not just being facetious about it. He's honestly apologizing, which makes me think, I mean, since the Fox engine is now his baby, what incredible things are going to come out of it?
And we've seen the footage of Metal Gear Solid 5, and it's just, it's phenomenal. And I'm hoping more. I can just see it now. Once that comes out, more developers are going to be like, okay, we got to get to that level. And I think that's really going to set the bar to what next gen is supposed to be.
Yeah,
would be nice.
I mean, we do complain about the weight that people put on graphics, but this was PT and the footage that we've seen from Metal Gear Solid. I've never been a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I've played the games, but I've never really been interested enough to get each game that comes out. I want to get it. I want to get it because it looks so amazing. It looks so gorgeous.
And it's open world.
And yeah, I mean, open world, awesome. That just kind of puts a cherry on it. The only thing I worry about is if they use these gorgeous graphics to just make another 5-hour game. Or another 5-hour movie, rather.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean...
2-hour game,
we already know it's probably going to have, like, the 20-minute cutscenes, but I think we'll still... I mean, now that's an open world game, I think we can expect a little bit more gameplay, because now we're gonna have that freedom of approaching, the missions a lot differently, unlike the previous games. Like, there was only one time a day. We didn't have a day and night cycle, and the other games we didn't have, a big open world. Everything was pretty linear. I mean, there was no like levels. You kind of just progressed and backtracked once in a while, but it wasn't like this big open area where you can just do whatever you want, go wherever you want, or anything like that. You kind of just progress the story. But in this, like, you can, like, I love the system they put in, so you can wait till nighttime. Basically, Snake just lights up a cigar and just sits there, and you see like the day and night kind of go through, and there's like all like these clocks and stuff. And then once it hits night, between night and day, you'll notice that the that the guards, like the guard numbers will be different, their patrol patterns will be different,
Hold on, I've got an idea.
and maybe they might be not be as aware because they're tired, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it gives us
I like that.
it gives us a next level of enemy AI that we can play with. And the only fear I have is that it's going to become sort of like Far Cry, where in the most recent Far Cry, you're planning out your kill. You know exactly where everybody is in that little enemy outpost, and you're waiting for it, and then a tiger jumps in and murders it.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
And
Well,
I know it's not going to exactly be like that, because I hope there aren't tigers running wild around the place. But what I fear is, you making these elaborate plans of how you're going to do it, and then one thing goes wrong, and you have just everybody in the base shooting at you at once.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping you could probably use wildlife to your advantage. I mean, they did have a little bit of fun with the with some of the wildlife. Like in the demo they showed, that Photon recovery system that they introduced in Metal Gear Solid 3, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They have like little mini versions of it now, and they used it on a goat, and it's just so funny. You basically you trank the goat, you see the thing come down, grabs the goat, and all of a sudden you see the goat just go like just shooting up in the air. And you can do it to cars too, like with people in them. And it's like I feel like it's gonna be like one of those games that's like it's gonna have a serious story and everything, but with the things that you can do in it, you can just have all the fun you want.
Well, Kojima is a bit of a psychopath anyway.
Yes.
An amazing psychopath.
Yeah. So,
I'm not too worried about Metal Gear Solid 5. I think we're still gonna have fun with it, even if we don't like the story that much. I mean, I'm hoping he gives us enough to do. Because I mean, I did buy the Ground Zeroes, and I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, they dropped the price of it. It was $30, but I think there was $30 worth of content in it. Because I mean, once you beat that main mission, 6 more missions unlock.
yeah.
I mean, they're not like story, there's just kind of an extra challenge. And then they also have a bunch of stuff you can collect in the main story, so you want to go back and get those. And when you collect those, you unlock another mission. And it's, and the mission's like, it's supposed to be like him going through the base and photographing or something, these different things that reminds, and it basically flashes back to Metal Gear Solid 1.
So he's like having
Which
Vietnam
doesn't make sense
flashbacks?
because he's looking into the future, technically. At his clone, but I think it was just more for, hey, here's something for old time fans to appreciate.
Well, again, Kojima, crazy.
Exactly. But no, I thought I got my money's worth with it. I mean, yeah, people did criticize it. It's like, oh, it's just a $30 demo, but I mean, it looked good, it ran good, it had a decent amount of content in it. Yeah, the story was really short, but it was a great setup.
Yeah, and I don't think that, from what I've seen so far, and the gingerness that they're handling it with, that it's going to be story without content. It's going to look beautiful, and it will have a good story, I hope, but we already know it's going to look beautiful. And on that note, and not so much bashing on Xbox One for its shortcomings, but a system that so far we haven't really seen a whole lot of tech-based shortcomings.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
The PS4.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sony is currently terrified because they've sold too many systems.
Never heard anyone complain about that.
From a business standpoint, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Because when you create a product that is so good at what it does that you sell it to literally everybody,
Yep.
well, now you don't have anyone to sell more product to, and you're up the creek.
Well, basically what they need to work on now is, obviously they gotta, if they really want to get them, if they really don't want to be fearful, they still have Morpheus coming out, which is, more hardware sales for them. I don't even think Microsoft's even announced any push to VR or even anything for VR, have they?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
Nothing set in stone.
I think there's been rumors. I think that's about it.
There's been rumors for years.
Yeah. Ever
Many
since the
rumors.
internet started, there's been rumors. But yeah, I mean, they still have Morpheus, and if they really want to sell more, if they're so concerned, what they gotta do is just try and tap into the Microsoft fan base.
That's it.
And you know, obviously, Microsoft already tried doing that, trying to get more people to buy the Xbox Ones with their move to get exclusive rights to Tomb Raider. But I don't think that's really much of a move because the Sony guys have Uncharted.
How do we know Director Falk is still alive?
And
It creates a rivalry.
yeah, it does. But like, you know, they're gonna say like, okay, I could spend $60 on Uncharted, or I can spend $460 to play Tomb Raider. It's like, what do you think they're gonna do? I mean, unless they know, but I mean, they already have Sunset Overdrive, which is being developed by Insomniac, who are originally developed for PlayStation platforms for the most part. I mean, they did the Resistance series, which was pretty popular. They did, you know, Ratchet and Clank, which was fantastic. Everyone loves Ratchet and Clank.
Love it.
But I mean, I'm thinking once that's released, they'll probably get some of those sales. But like, I think what Sony really needs to do is trying to tap in, maybe even get a couple of first-person shooters on there, like some new first-person shooters on there that, while they still kind of take, you know, put heavy emphasis on the online, because obviously that's what you want. Like, you know, the Xbox fan base is mostly they want their online multiplayers, like shooters. So I mean, Sony's probably gonna, you know, try and find something that could cater to that. Maybe even make another Resistance game. Or maybe even do something new, do something no one's ever seen before.
Well, we all remember Mag.
Yeah, no one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I forgot all about that game.
yeah. They used a lot of wordplay about that. 256 player matches. You'll never see the other. You'll be playing a 16 player match where all the other players are on separate maps on a big map.
Yeah.
And they're doing things to help your score.
Yeah.
You'll never see them though.
But
they're in a whole different.
I think now that we have the tech that's a little more beefy, maybe more robust, we might start seeing games like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're already starting to put MMOs on consoles, so I mean, and they started that, you know, with the PlayStation. They started that last gen, you know, with, you know, they had you know, DC Universe Online. They had, you know, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, they did it more. I mean,
Yeah.
we had an MMO on the PS2.
Agent Nils, good to
Which
see
one
you
was
alive.
that?
Agent Carter,
Final Fantasy
we
11.
need to talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was on Xbox also.
Yes,
Or they're putting it on Xbox.
that's correct.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
also on Xbox.
I get some
Um,
answers?
and you had to
I
buy.
forgot
the-
about Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, you had to buy the little hard drive plug-in that's screwed onto the back, that big old
Yes.
cancerous tumor
I'd be dead if
that
I
plugged
Yes.
onto the back of your PS2.
healed my wound.
But they included that
When we get
when
out
they
of here, my team will
remodeled
do
the
some
Slim,
tests.
right?
Sir, with respect.
Like they put the
Correct.
Ethernet. Yeah, they put the Ethernet port in the back.
Correct, it was
Yeah.
built into it, but
Yeah.
for
We have to
folk like
assume that
me
the director
who
of
had
Central
the old
Intelligence is dead.
The old
Sorry,
folks.
Carter.
chunky
The protocols are
multi-tiered
clear. You work for me
PS2.
now.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like I look at that thing now, I'm just like I look at it, and it looks like a poorly put together
This is a
PC.
nationwide communications
Like I just,
Working under the assumption
that was one
What
of
is
the few
this?
designs I was not a fan of. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the PS2, but I just was not a fan of the design of the system.
I mean, that description kind of
We theorized
hits the
about
nail
these
on the
puzzle
head,
sets for some time,
that
but this is our
consoles
first
in that
confirmed
day
contact.
were just
Man,
poorly
it's gone
designed
just great.
We were hoping to learn more from that
PCs,
artifact.
Yeah.
gaming
But
PCs.
now,
But, you know,
no
they
shortage of material to
they
study.
did change.
just
They
wanna know one
revolutionized
thing.
gaming as a
How to get
whole,
rid of them.
even
need
for
both, Carter.
PC.
Yeah.
But actually,
Why did they
that kind
attack
of
us?
We've
that
got a
brings
lot
me
of
on to my
theories,
next
but no
topic,
answers.
and it was something
Maybe they're
that
from the moon
I read
and they don't
earlier.
want us coming there
Is
first.
that
This is hardly the time for jokes, Agent Carter.
digital downloads
Yes.
are
Can't stay here.
now
First, we
the
evacuate this
highest
facility.
grossing
Then,
for numbers of games bought for
Getting out of here is
PC.
gonna be
Oh,
tough.
It's
Yeah.
90% of games for PC are
Without it,
digital
you won't have a
downloads now.
chance.
And how many of those are Steam
The
sales?
commanders in the war room and lead them to the rail platform.
As far as I'm concerned, all of it.
Probably.
Because
I
I mean-
can see that.
I
mean-
know Origin is still popular, and I
Agent
know
Carter, good to meet.
Yeah,
there's still
Origin's
Let's go, we're
other.
outta
Well, it's
here,
because
Agent.
EA's all like, nope, we're not putting our games on anything else but Origin.
Right, and I know Origin is it's a legitimate competitor to Steam,
Down
but
there, in the
It's
lab.
gotten better, I will say that. When it first came out, it
Don't know,
was
don't care.
it was
Position
very
distracted.
unstable. But it's definitely gotten better.
yeah,
I
and
saw.
and there are still other mediums out there for downloading digital games. GameTap still exists, oddly
Oh my
enough.
god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, GameTap
Good lord.
exists, but
No,
we can-
GameFly's got their own digital distribution too.
Yeah,
They do,
GameFly,
they do.
GameFly, and I think it's a very important thing now is that we're moving to digital, and on the Sony side of them fearing that all of their hardware sales are going to go away, they can now they can rely on digital
Keep your
media,
head down.
Yeah.
and so can Xbox One, and
I mean,
obviously,
and they're already doing that really. I mean, with the PlayStation Plus, I mean they
Yeah.
give us 2 free games a month.
yeah,
I mean, at first they when the PS4 first came out, it was 1 game a month, but they just recently moved it up to 2. I mean, I think this month we got Fez and there was another one. I forget what it was called. All I remember is I didn't really like it.
Well, I mean, there you go. You liked Fez, but you didn't like the other one, so now at least you have choice.
Yeah,
in the
like I
matter.
got it for free though.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the only problem is I already owned Fez. I bought it when it first came out on PlayStation 4. So, 'cause, I mean, I was a huge fan of that game. I mean, not a fan of the developer who made it, but
Yeah.
he
Okay.
said some things that, upset a lot of people, but we won't get into that. It's old news.
Well, not anymore.
Nope.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
We'll get into that later. He was involved with
Right, exactly.
he's involved with a very, very
Touchy subject.
touchy subject online right now.
Yes.
But before we get into that, I wanted to go back to the Steam thing, and
Yes.
just as a sensible chuckle that we can all have, gentlemen. Did you hear the one about the Comcast rep that thought Steam was a virus?
It is an epidemic. People do get addicted to Steam, and side effects include impulse spending on games that you probably will never play.
Lord.
I'm almost kind of ashamed at the number of games I have in my Steam library. I'm at like 230,
Move on.
Yeah.
and probably about 220 of those are Steam sale purchases I bought for like less than $5.
yeah.
Have
and
I touched them? No.
That was actually a big subject for it. Is
Just
that
get to the war room,
people
collect the
have
brass
all
and
of
get
these
out.
ridiculous
any of them
amounts
left
of
to collect.
Steam games, but they never touch them. They never use them, much less beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I probably played like 5 minutes of each of them when I first purchased them, and then I go back to playing, Skyrim, the thing I paid full price for.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's not hard to believe that Steam is a bit of a virus in its own right. But for the Comcast rep to not know what he was doing and call Steam a virus just so he could kind of brush the issue under the carpet, still pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh.
Oh man.
So,
Actually, we can actually go into the touchy subject, considering the game that was in question was on Steam.
oh, right. Released on Steam.
Oh,
What were they
yeah.
doing with the
So we'll go by the
down
official
here?
name that the internet has called it: Quinspiracy.
Dun dun dun.
Why do I can see in like maybe 5 years some indie filmmaker making a movie about this?
Because they have
Like
to
a
make movie
weird
with
dark
this.
comedy I can see it being.
God, dark comedy.
Dark comedy. Well, this has been bad comedy.
Yeah, it's well basically from what I understand, I mean, I haven't read the whole thing. All I know is that Zoe Quinn, she's a game developer, right? Like an indie developer. I
Yeah,
haven't really read much on her.
yeah. She developed her own game.
And I guess she's been caught sleeping around with some publishers.
Well,
Or dating.
The stories have kind of
They've
jumped
been
about a bit. Where
they've been all over the place. Yeah,
It's
I don't
seems
know
more
what.
likely that she. I think the general consensus she slept with or did favors for a game journalist that hyped her game as being this big thing that it generally wasn't. And it brought into question the morality of games journalism. Are
Which
they
people
easily
have been
bought?
questioning since, people have been complaining about Call of Duty. And the like, I mean, I do see some inconsistencies with, like, I do have my suspicions about, morality in game journalism, and, it's because of games like Call of Duty, I see, like, one thing that Call of Duty is really, criticized for is its lack of originality and its recycling of old features over and over and over again with really much difference in it.
Yeah.
When I read the reviews, they get like, they give them like 8.5 reviews, which obviously that's an excellent score. And do they ever bring up the repetitive, like the recycled, mechanics? No. But then we get games like Pokemon, which are actually they're very deep games, like there's a lot to do in them. And they get scores like 7s. And one of the things they say, like, oh, recycled mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, how is that fair? It's suspicious, to say the least. Because, I mean, Activision's a big company. They have a lot of money. And, what it comes down to is, like, the question that I've basically been asking is, like, is this someone's opinion or is this advertising? Because it's starting to sound more like advertising.
Did money fly at this person?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Not square underground.
And like, that's why I like to go for I'll go for the more underground sites, like, the Gawker site. I mean, they're not really underground, but a lot of people know about them, but they're not as big as, let's say IGN or GameSpot.
Right, or in this case, Kotaku.
Yeah.
Since the other party involved was a writer.
Well,
a rather respected writer.
Kotaku did release a statement about that. I guess they were very transparent about it, but we don't know if they're being truthful or not. But I mean, I kind of trust Kotaku. I mean, I've never had a problem with any of their articles or any of their reviews for that matter. But he released a statement about this guy. I forget the guy's name that she was apparently doing favors for, but I guess earlier they had a professional relationship going, and then they recently started dating. But I guess he was very open. Like, what basically the letter said, this letter to the readers of Kotaku said was that he's not allowed to write articles about Zoe Quinn's projects because of their personal relationship.
Conflict of interests.
Yeah, because of conflict of
exactly.
interest. And that's basically what this letter said, to put things to rest. But I guess she was also doing favors for publishers to get the game published.
Favors.
Now, this was now the game in question, that was Depression Quest, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I actually did play it. Well, sorry, I read it. Because I don't call it a game. It's
Right.
It's a
It's not a
visual
game.
novel.
Yeah.
It's a visual choose your own adventure novel. And I personally think it was very effective. Because I mean, I did do research on it. It was made to raise awareness about depression, which it definitely does. It's it's not an easy game or not easy read. It's you kind of feel bad afterwards because you get kind of frustrated because what they do is it's very clever the way they do it is you're reading these statements and at the end there's these options of how to deal with said statements, but they'll have some options crossed off that you can't select. You want to select it so bad, but you can't because the game physically will not let you. And it only will leave you with options like bottle up your feelings or, ignore this person or, don't go to the party and just sit in your house and mope all night. Like, it's options like that. And it's just like, and then you read further into it and you read about the relationships he has and you almost get kind of upset.
Yeah.
And I got kind of scared watching it, reading it, because I was finding a lot of parallels with me in it. So I was like, am I depressed? But, like, I don't think so, because, like, a lot of the stuff, it wasn't as intense as this kid, because this kid, like, literally refused to leave his house. Like, he didn't want to go out with friends. He didn't want to, like... But, like, the stuff like, he doesn't like his job, he doesn't really have a lot of motivation to do things about it and stuff like that. Stuff like that, like, I was finding parallels, and I was starting to get a little concerned.
Well, I think the topics that it was bringing up are pretty, I don't want to say generic, but they are pretty everyday, common topics for people of all ages.
Yeah.
And yes, I think it's important to bring in parallels between disliking the things in your life and disliking your life as a whole.
Yeah.
So I think as the game, if you separate the conspiracy and the sudden support for this person that we never heard of before aside and just look at the game itself, or the book, it's a fine thing. It's a good thing that's bringing a lot of attention to something that suddenly became a hot topic again.
And we do know the unfortunate event that caused that, and that was the death of Robin Williams. And I don't know if it was a coincidence that they did this on purpose, but the game was released on Steam the same day.
Which, yeah, kind of.
And I mean, I really think, because I mean, with all the, and I think a game like that is important, especially for people to play, because I mean, there's been a lot of ignorant, remarks about the suicide.
Right, and about depression in general.
And just about depression. It's like, oh, he's looking for attention, or it's like, oh, he wasn't really depressed. He was stupid to do that. I'm like, depression is just as much of an illness as cancer, or, AIDS. It does have a cause of, one of the results can be death. Suicide. It's. Because, I mean, it literally is, depression is caused by chemical releases in your brain.
It's chemical imbalance in the brain.
Yeah, chemical imbalances. And, there is a diagnosis for it. There is medicine for it. It's a legitimate disorder. It's a sickness.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people understand this.
Yeah.
They just think you can get over it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just be happy all the time. You're like, no.
Yeah. Right. But right now the problem is that people are overlooking this tool, this utility, that this resource that people can use, because they're focusing on the dishonesty and that's it, the dishonesty. They were dishonest about this game and its advertisements and the people talking about it. It became the focus, not the fact that this is a good resource for people who are depressed, or for people who don't understand depression, but it came down to sex, lies, and video games.
Sounds like a movie title.
That'll be the name of that indie film: Sex, Lies, and Video Games.
There you go. Yes.
So, actually, I can see it being a documentary more than like an independent. It'll be like an independent documentary about it.
I wouldn't mind watching it. I think there's many sides to the story, and
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
right now we're stuck
I just hope
with
they haven't left yet.
a very strange topic of games journalism. Is it still a trustworthy source of news?
Yeah. I mean, I've always had the that I always go by, I don't follow hype trains or anything like that. I create my own hype, I'll see something and I'll say like, "Oh, that looks cool. I'll try it when it comes out." And I'll learn more on it and I'll say like, "Oh," and I'll see more stuff on it that will make me want to buy it. Like I just look at the gameplay and that's it. Like I don't see how often it's advertised. I don't look at, if people are talking a lot about it. I look at what is being shown and I create the hype for myself. It's like, do I want to play this game or do I not want to play this game? Do I want to get really excited for it or not so excited and wait on it?
Yeah.
And, and same with reviews, I'll probably read a review just to see what other people think about it, but I will never let it affect my decision and when I want to buy a game. Like, even, like,
Falk.
an example would be, when Aliens Colonial Marines came out, I was very excited for that game, and then I was almost heartbroken when I saw the low review scores for it. But you know what? I still went out and bought it. I want to see it for myself,
Yeah.
I had a pre-order, I had to pay it off in full, I'm going to play this game, and obviously it was a piece of shit.
Unfortunately, it had such promise, but
Well, there we go with video games dishonesty. They run these games on like high-end PC. They run the demos on high-end PCs with better graphics. They only give you like a snippet of the game, but then once the whole game comes out, they add so much more content. And they have to downgrade the quality of it to fit all the content in it. And
Yeah.
I mean, it all goes down to developers too. I mean, the dishonesty with Colonial Marines, and then a lot of people are claiming dishonesty for Watch Dogs.
yeah.
I mean, Watch Dogs was announced way before the next gens were announced.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But we see that a lot more now.
they were probably just trying to save resources so that they didn't have to make two separate games.
Right.
And I mean, Watch Dogs was still a great game.
was
I
fun.
loved it.
Yeah.
Like I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, it's just, like I mean, even Depression, the Depression quest. I mean, I don't really think it really needed the sleeping around or the favors to really get talked about, because I think it really did a good job with what it was trying to do.
Yeah. But unfortunately,
I mean, if you're into that kind of thing,
unfortunately, the sleeping around, the dishonesty, and the business dealings were. They came out way before the game's popularity reached its peak.
Which leads me to believe that that was actually that stuff that actually brought the game to people's attention, because it's now greenlit on Steam and there's.
It's been available for free on Steam since.
I thought it was. I thought it was a greenlit.
I think it was a green light. It could have been.
Yeah, well, it was a green light, and now it's on Steam now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were angry at people who were attacking Zoe Quinn and her game, and so they were just like upvoting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on Steam. It's been on Steam
Since the 11th.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. But
That's when it came out.
it's
Like I
just,
said, the same day Robin Williams passed away.
yeah. So
Oh,
But
well.
anyway.
Yeah. So, leaving that sort of messy, still, now dying down situation behind.
Focus on that one. Taking aim.
What's
Another
this?
situation that's been kind of intense over the weekend, the DDoS attacks on
Yes.
various services.
yeah, bullcrap.
Let's see, it was PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, League of Legends, and Blizzard.
My
Am I
goodness.
missing any?
I can't think of any at the
There-
I
moment.
think those were the four that
Yeah.
got attacked.
Yeah, there may have been others, but those were the largest
Yes.
of all the attacks.
And if for those who don't know what a DDoS is, it is a distribution
These fuckers
denial
aren't
of
gonna
service,
stop.
something like that along those lines.
Skyranger, how fast can you clear
Yeah.
the test site's
So
blast
basically,
radius?
what it does is it
I'm gonna
creates
start the test
basically
sequence.
creates
It's the only way to
bots
keep 'em from following
to
us.
simulate
And
people
get some
logging into a
payback.
network. and it multiplies it by the millions or thousands or whatever it is, and it overloads the servers, crashing it. So
got it.
people cannot log
Give
on.
those bastards something to
And
remember.
it's a pain in the ass to fix, from what I understand. Because I mean, the services were down for at least a day, if I want to say correct. Because I think PlayStation Network just went back up. I think earlier today.
Correct.
Going to start the test.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this stuff happened because it really is a pain in the ass to actually try to fix, like you said.
I mean,
Like,
fortunately for the PlayStation Network, at least for me, it did not affect stuff like Netflix or Amazon Prime. Like, I was still able to watch Netflix and stuff. It was just gaming services on
Yeah.
the systems. So, I mean, it wasn't all terrible. So, I mean, what do you do if you can't play your favorite online game? You marathon a series on Netflix. Well, you wait for the servers to come back on.
and rage all over everything.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't play a lot of online stuff to begin with, but at the same time, like, you know, sometimes like some of these outages things, it's kind of good. I mean, you can get some good out of it. If for the optimist,
Thank you.
it'll enable you to play other things.
Thank you, Lizard
Wow.
Squad, for denying us service.
Yes.
However, not thank you for the bomb threats.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And
man.
wasn't this all because they wanted Sony to have more security against DDoS?
No, I think what was it? It was something along the lines of
They did a DDoS attack to make them learn that they need security against it.
I thought it was also something else like they
And to get the guy's
her.
attention. And they did the bomb threat to get the guy's
Some of them
attention,
look like us.
No way.
Yeah,
which obviously did.
Look like some kind of,
yeah.
I don't know, some
Well,
kind of monsters or something.
Yeah. You're gonna threaten
How's it going, Agent Carter?
terrorism.
Yes,
Well,
gonna get-
I don't think they as much threatened it. I think they just said like, "Oh, there's a bomb on
The
board
old
that
man
plane."
just called
They just
out.
kind of made
Says
us.
one of the
It was not
scientists is
necessarily a
missing.
threat, more of a scare.
Disappeared, along with his
was a
research
bomb
on high
scare.
explosives.
Does Falk think he's gone rogue?
Maybe.
Huh.
We can't risk a panic.
So in order to do a threat,
Nils
they
is
would actually
tracking
have to
him
have a
down, but you need to
bomb.
get a team ready to help.
Well, no,
In
you
order
don't
for it to be like
have to
bomb
have
threat.
a bomb
That's true.
to threaten.
But no, I think the wording of it just says like, "There's a bomb on the flight" or something like that. You know.
Well,
that's one of the words you don't say on a plane because they
Exactly.
take it severely. The severe consequences that happen with that. These
granted,
people-
if you call in and say there's a bomb on the plane, what are they gonna think? The first thing they're gonna think is, well, that's because you put it there.
Exactly.
And then that's a threat. Just saying there's a bomb on the plane. You don't have to say I have put a bomb on the plane. Just say, hey, by the way, there's a bomb on the plane. Well, who the hell put it there? You?
no,
Exactly.
No. And then you
no.
hang up. Yeah. So yeah, I mean they can hide behind their wording, but either way,
Yeah, it's still okay. Yeah, I guess we see where you're coming from. It's still
some people thought they were gonna get blowed up.
Yes, but I mean they were able to stop the plane, and as long as no one got hurt, I guess is the best thing we can get out of this. No one got
Yeah.
hurt,
Yeah, exactly.
just inconvenienced.
Yeah. By a
Because no
bunch
one
of-
likes when their flights are changed.
by a bunch of childish fools.
Yes.
Yep. And it's funny. These people who do the DDoS attacks, they claim to be like, "Oh, we're hackers." Like, no, you're not hackers. You are not hackers. You use software to inconvenience people.
Yeah.
You can't get access to any of our information. You're not hacking.
You're just an
See,
asshole.
the PlayStation Network hack from a few years ago, that was a hack.
Right.
Like,
yeah, because
how
data
many,
was stolen.
thousands of data, like thousands of user data were released.
Yeah.
Wait for me, Nils. I'll
And,
get your back.
I remember that month.
Yeah, that was
I'm on
a
my way.
weird. That was a weird time.
I remember the
Through the
prizes they
armory
gave
and
us
take a left for
afterwards.
the elevator.
The
Hell
apologies.
yeah.
Send your team up to
Yeah,
join
the apology package we got.
Yeah,
That was nice.
fantastic.
We
Yeah,
got
no,
and
way to
I
go, Sony.
didn't that opened up. I think that opened up a lot of the their ideas for the game library, the free game library.
Oh, PlayStation Plus game. Well, yeah, it went
Yeah,
over.
like that kind
it
of
went
opened
over
up-
with flying colors. So why not?
Because they basically what happened with that was people were talking about it.
Yeah.
It was it's like, oh, we're getting Infamous and Little Big Planet and all this stuff, and they thought like, oh, hey, maybe we should start doing this more often. Just we'll give the Plus subscribers, access to these free games. And what I love about that is they actually they're not old games.
No, they were good games. They were games that people liked, and
I'll handle this.
the games that we're getting now, yeah, they're games that did well when they sold, are the games that have cult followings.
Yes.
So it was a good idea. It's a
Yeah, it
fantastic
definitely
idea.
was.
Yeah. Moving on
Yeah.
to
I do have one more story. I mean, completely unrelated from. I just saw what Gimli wrote
oh goodness.
in the notes.
Didn't do anything.
Gimli, do you want to tell us? Do you want to tell us about?
According to my notes, there's a report that former Sierra Network HQ was destroyed by a California cockslide.
Oh, I did that.
Oh.
the changing of the notes. I didn't slide my cock over Sierra's.
And by cockslide, we mean wildfire.
Yes, a wildfire.
Now, you ask, what is
is the
Sierra
name of my
Network?
penis.
People are probably asking, what is Sierra Network?
Christ
Yes,
knows.
tell us about. Sierra.
I'm not old enough to,
Do not grieve.
even I'm not old enough to even know what it was. I had to do research on it, but Sierra Network was basically one of the earliest forms of online
Why
multiplayer.
attack our world?
Yep.
You do not
1989, I believe, is when it came
understand.
out.
This world is no longer
I didn't even know the internet existed in '89.
It did. Come on.
Of course.
Come on.
What the
Of course.
hell is most
It
hated?
launched.
Then
in
again, I was only
public-
1 year old, and I didn't have internet for the first time until I think it was like
It is
5.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Good old AOL.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I know one
it
truth
was.
that
It
you
launched in
don't.
1991, and it was one of the
You're
first
surrounded.
graphical online multiplayer worlds. It wasn't the first, but it quickly became the biggest.
Yeah. And what bothers me is, when, like, I think about this, and I'm just like, the fact that I did not know about this until I saw this article is that, like, how much Origins are so ignored. Like, when, if you were to ask, the average gamer today, when you think of online multiplayer, what do you think of? They're probably going to say Xbox Live. And when you say Sierra Network, they're gonna look and you'll be like, what?
Well, like it's getting even past the point of
Ceasefire,
when you
fellas.
ask about
He's
online
worth more to us
multiplayer.
alive.
Some people will
Let's
say
get him into
Ultima.
custody.
Some
yeah.
people will
Oh.
say
Infiltrator
Wars.
Alive.
EverQuest.
EverQuest. Yeah.
EverQuest was probably one of the
Mills
first
is
biggest.
dead. I told him to wait for
MMOs.
backup, but he
Yeah,
went in without
yeah.
me.
And honestly, some of us will say Doom.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was believed to have been downloaded more than Windows 95.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that why like Windows 95 even started bundling it with Windows?
They actually did and if you can find it online, good luck. There's a hilarious video where Bill Gates is superimposed on the first level of Doom. And I shit you not, he comes out, he walks out into the screen, and the entire background is the actual level, the first level of Doom, and he's wearing a trench coat and carrying a shotgun. And it looks, it's the funniest thing on earth because he's scrawny and
Nerdy.
Yep, and he's wearing a sweater.
Especially when Doom came out.
Oh yeah, that was back in the heyday.
Yeah, they were a lot younger back then.
Yeah, if you can find that video online, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, but definitely check it out. But yeah, those games back in 1991 through 1995, you had some of the first massively, and at the time massively would be an Office
Nice, Doc, but I gotta
multiplayer games, and it's sad that a piece of gaming history was destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I guess that's not what was in there. I don't think they even confirmed what kind of business was in there at the time. But
Right? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't in use.
yeah, it's been out of use since I think it was when did it go out of commission? Was it?
Doc, we lost a lot of good men that day.
It was recent. I know it was like in the 2000s they shut it down.
Yeah.
But Moving on.
Yeah,
I mean,
onto something that might be new gaming history. Gimli, tell me about Samus's new costume for Super Smash Brothers.
God. Well, okay, it's it's not as bad as it could be, but it's still unneeded.
It's as far as Nintendo can go
Exactly. But
with making a sexy
yeah, it's just
character.
it's still it's unnecessary. But
it's
What's she
not-
wearing, Gimli?
she.
I'll put up a picture.
Okay.
I'll
No,
put
I got
a picture
this.
down
I got
for
this.
it.
No, I want to hear Gimli describe it. Describe it for me.
I'll show it for you. So it's like she's wearing like this. The bathing suit that she's wearing is kind of like a sports bra mixed with
It's like a sport
swim-
front short shorts.
shorts. Yeah, it's just the short shorts are just
Your report.
too short, but they're
This
oh
cannot happen
hi.
again. Killing
But they're
Mills?
just
If it
Yeah,
was real
it's-
life, you'd probably see a labia or two.
Are they? Oh,
dude.
are they booty shorts, Gimli?
I'd say they're booty shorts.
Is she made of rubber, Gimli?
We need to
She
stop
is
this.
made of
We need to
the
do it
moistest
now. Do you
rubber.
understand that?
I feel so dirty.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys look at the picture, you'll notice, you'll see
Like,
the
look
how
at her-
she's
look at her-
bending.
Look at her stomach, and then I want you guys to comment on what the hell is wrong with her stomach. Just I don't want you to describe her stomach for me.
It's the only thing that I can say is it's almost Liefeldian in proportions.
Yeah.
If any of you out there are comic book nerds and you know who Rob Liefeld is, he would always make his women 7 feet tall with 2-inch waists, bending in
Barbie
a
doll,
way that
essentially.
you could see both their ass and boobs at the same time.
Oh, like the new Spider Woman comic.
Oh
It's
yes.
the variant. That's
Oh, yeah.
that thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
that ass.
Yeah, it's got a lot of backlash.
Whatever it is.
Yep, I got a little backlash.
Yeah, and it's the same subject about both of them. It's just weird over-sexualization of characters that are beautiful in their own right. They're plenty sexy as is.
Yeah,
You don't need to make them.
it's like it's
Especially someone
sexualized
like
non-sexual
Samus.
character.
Especially someone like Samus, because
Yeah.
I mean, she's supposed to be a strong, female character, and there,
No,
and,
James-
the, and,
James-
Granted. Her costume would disappear more the better you did beating the first game.
Yeah,
really.
Yes. Yeah. So eventually.
But at
There.
least in like the first game, like when she went Zero Suit, she was wearing like this fully covered,
Doctor won't do us
like
much
what
good
you'd
if he can't
expect
get us
someone to be
outta here.
wearing under an armor like that.
Understood.
Right.
First we
Right.
take out the AA gun and get you back in the air.
Like, it's gotta be
Then we
skin
find
tight,
Dr.
you know,
Ware and
it's-
get him out of here.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, her Zero Suit, the one that we all know, makes sense. But this
That is
not
just like-
this is not a fighting costume.
no.
Yeah, you want to be
It's-
armored. You want protection. There's no protection in that.
Booty shorts and a halter top are not. It's not armor. It's not. And I get it. People are gonna just be like, oh, who cares? But
Yeah.
honestly, I
Came
care.
from
If
a
you're gonna give
diner.
me a female character that's supposed to be
Eyes
respected
peeled,
as the male
weapons
characters
ready.
are, you look at
Let's
Ganondorf.
go.
He's wearing full suit of armor.
Yeah, and then
You look
see
at
her.
you look at Space Fox. He's wearing his
You
full
all right?
outfit,
Hey,
and then she's wearing booty shorts.
Although I would pay to see Ganon in a
hold
bikini.
fire.
I think that would honestly, you know what? I think that would be fantastic.
We're gonna have to pitch this to the game developers.
Yes.
Yeah,
It'll,
no,
be, it'll be a downloadable costume for Ganon.
Well, he is in the new Smash Brothers now
Hear this?
apparently because
There's somebody
the
here.
leaked footage
Looks like one of the
that's been going around the
infected, but
internet.
he's not hostile.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of the leaked.
I keep seeing it pop on
Switched off.
the internet.
yeah. What is it? The rest of the?
Yeah, it's the rest of the 3DS characters that are being leaked out and stuff.
Yeah.
So we have veteran Ganondorf from like when his first appearance.
Nice.
So he pretty much his veteran one is pretty much acting just like he was like Captain Falcon almost. But
Okay.
yeah, but I think they did say that they're going to be putting Ganondorf in the Wii U version.
My God.
It
Different.
makes sense because didn't they say they're going to make the games cross-compatible too?
Yes, but
Okay.
I think that they're giving you another form of Ganon. When I think I read there somewhere that it's going to be him from Hyrule Warriors. In the dual blades and the new
Oh,
attacks.
so like actual Ganon.
No,
Ganon.
like Ganondorf, but yeah, it's just him, different style.
I'd like to see an actual Ganon. Like
Yeah.
I want to fight his big pig beast Ganon.
I do
Beast.
miss the Big Beast.
Yeah.
Yep, from the original Zeldas
Yeah.
and the TV series.
We don't talk about the TV series, Jason.
Hey, I love the TV
Hey,
series.
hey,
I
hey.
own it on DVD.
If you're going to talk about the TV series, you better get off this podcast.
Eyes on the AA gun.
All right, fine, because I'm the one with the access to the YouTube channel. So,
Oh snap!
Oh no, we're already breaking up on episode 2. Quick, Jason, talk about movies.
Like that's the best
oh yeah, talking about
in
movies. I mean, we were just on the topic of sex, so that brings me up to the first topic of movies. Sin City: A Dame to Kill For fucking sucked in the box office.
There you go.
Is that because
Expendables did better than it.
is that because Sin City sucked?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, I won't lie, I liked the first Sin City. I liked the comic book style. I liked the overall art of it. But I guess I don't think it needed a second movie. I was happy with the first. But yes, it only made 6.5 million.
What was its? Do we know what its budget was?
I will take a trip to IMDb right now to find it. Kill for okay, so budget. Where is it?
Medic!
Okay.
I need help.
Nothing. They're keeping.
Yeah, I
they're
don't
keeping
think they
hidden.
have it. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. No, it says the technical specs. Detail. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's not saying what the budget was. Let me just do a quick Google.
Oh, here we go. The budget was 60 to 70 million.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, they did not break even. They didn't even break even.
That'd be close. Current box office is at 10 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Christ.
I mean,
so,
even
so what have we learned?
Frank Miller's terrible.
Started. Get the hell out.
Well,
Yes, man, I could go. Like literally, I could go on for an entire podcast episode about how Frank Miller is just a degenerate piece of shit.
next podcast, Campbell.
But
We'll do a Frank Miller special. How about that?
yeah, let's shit on.
Not an official announcement, by the way. But yeah, like it's to even see that like even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did like
Ready for orders.
more than double better
Feeling engaged.
in its second weekend at 16.8.
Oh,
But the number one was, can we all guess? Guardians of the
Galaxy?
Galaxy.
Obviously,
Those
Yes.
the TMNT and Guardians of the Galaxy were going like, what was the word for it? Like they keep surpassing each other every
Yeah.
now and then. But now
Yeah, they've been
it's-
kind of going back and forth. But I mean,
now
I can see-
Teenage Mutant Turtles have kind
I
of
can
plateaued. And
I can
Guardians
see
of the
why
Galaxy-
TMNT is doing very well because I mean there is the young kids
Finish it
who
off.
didn't grow up with it. You know, all they know is the Nickelodeon series,
Deserve.
right?
which I hear is not bad. I've talked to people our age who were Ninja Turtles fans back in the day who've watched the Nickelodeon series and they said it's not bad. I haven't watched it yet myself, so I haven't been able to develop an opinion for myself. But I'm definitely open to giving it a
Good old college
look.
try.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, I'll probably see this new movie eventually. I'm probably not gonna pay $12 to $15 to see it in theaters though.
Yeah.
I'd rather, I'll probably rent it for $5, when it comes out.
Or if it comes out on Netflix.
Or if it comes out on Netflix, yes.
Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but to move on, you know, I basically said all we need, unless you guys have more to say about
Oh,
this.
we didn't talk about Richard Attenborough.
Well, I think
Oh yes.
let's dedicate this episode.
Yeah,
to...
we're dedicating this episode to Richard Attenborough.
Life
Who
does find
passed
a way.
away. When was it? It was a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was actually
It was yesterday, wasn't it?
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday. He passed away at age 90. And this is gonna sound terrible, but I thought he already died.
Honestly,
Because we have not heard from him. And the same thing happened when the news that Shirley Temple died. I had the same reaction. I'm like, I thought they were already died. Because I thought I remember hearing that he died after Lost the World came out. Or after it was filmed, at least. Unless it was just a rumor that went around afterwards. Unless it was just the character John Hammond that died in
Well,
Lost World.
Yeah,
Because he was in his deathbed, basically, in that movie.
yeah. In the canon of
Well,
Jurassic
if you-
Park, that character did die like shortly after that point.
it seems that he was
I
actually.
thought he died in the first book.
Well-
Wasn't he eaten by the compies in the book?
No. Wait.
Yeah, he was eaten by compies in the
I think-
book.
Yeah, no, yeah, the character died in the book.
Yeah, he survived in the movie.
Yeah, but then again, the book was rather vastly different than.
Yeah, it was a lot more
Well,
graphic. A lot more graphic than the movie.
Well, it seems that he was actually his health has declined since 2008.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
I think the last movie that he was in, and I don't even think it was like a large role in the movie, but it was Closing the Ring,
Walk it off.
Oh, okay.
which actually he didn't act in it. He was the director and producer for it. So it looks like the last movie he acted in was in 2002. Yeah,
You know, yeah,
which was Platoon, and he was the narrator.
yeah.
Oh, hey.
So I
I can
mean,
listen to his voice.
yeah, he hasn't been in a whole lot in the most recent.
Hit it hard.
I mean, yeah. When you get to that age, you know, you're starting. You know, your health declines. You can't do
See,
much.
I kind of like to think that he went out fighting a dinosaur.
He is now walking with the dinosaurs now.
Yeah, damn it, Jason! Damn it!
Barefisted fighting a dinosaur.
Yeah, in old-timey boxing style.
Yeah. So
Lift an
here's to
enemy from
you,
a distance,
the
pulling it up
Lord,
and out
Right
of cover.
Honorable
While in the air,
Attenborough.
targets are disoriented and
Yes.
extremely vulnerable.
You had
I
no
raised
clue
my
how,
my beer that I am drinking now.
You had no clue how dinosaurs worked, but we loved you anyway.
Because you had an amazing voice.
Walk. That's the last of them.
So it sounds like that's it for this episode. Of...
I got a few more things, like just small things.
Oh, dear.
So,
Wow.
basically, you know, it's just some interesting things. I mean, the first thing I have to announce is obviously, it was just announced this week that Jennifer Lawrence was casted to be in Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight. I feel like I had to mention that because I'm a big Tarantino fan, and I also love Jennifer Lawrence. You know, she's a brilliant
She's
actress.
a fantastic lady.
Door open, agent.
Yes.
Do,
We'll cover you.
do,
And
do we
she's-
get to see her nude in it?
I don't know.
Well, I don't care then.
Okay then. And then second little bit, I guess they're doing another film version of The Stand, by Stephen King, and Matthew
Right, yeah.
McConaughey was just he's wanted. They haven't confirmed casted it yet, but he's wanted for the villain Randall Flagg.
You notice how that's literally movie news now?
Yeah, it's just
Is
like
hearing about this actor is wanted for this thing. Oh,
exactly.
are they going to be in it? We don't know.
But
God damn it!
the reason why I found this very interesting news is because before this year, Matthew McConaughey has been kind of irrelevant.
Isn't he always irrelevant?
Yeah, he's been kind of irrelevant.
Jeez.
He hasn't been in much. I mean, he didn't really have his big comeback until Dallas Buyers Club,
Focus
which
on
he
that
got,
one.
an Academy Award nomination for.
Yeah, well, that was a fantastic movie. I saw it, and it was an
Yeah.
incredible movie. But man,
Yeah, I mean, and then he was in Wolf of Wall Street for a while, and his character was awesome. I kind of wish he was in more of it.
well,
He's only in the first 15 minutes of the movie of an almost 3-hour movie.
I mean, I don't want to say that he's been irrelevant, because True Detective is actually
Well, True Detective just came out this year, though.
fantastic. Well, I think they've been working on it since they've been working on it since last year.
Yeah, but
And
like,
then we got our taste of it this year.
yeah, and like even then, it's just like I feel like he's just been like, he hasn't like, a lot of the movies he's been in recently hasn't been really talked about, but then he was in Magic Mike, which was a heavily talked about movie.
Yeah.
You know, the first stripper movie that women went to see.
Yeah, people wouldn't shut up about that movie.
Yeah, and then like, and even before that, you know, people were well, actually, mostly probably before Dallas Buyers Club, and they saw his performance in that. You know, people bad talked him. Like, people would bad talk him. Like, they didn't think he was a great actor. Like, he was in a lot of basically box office bombs in the in the last, you know, the previous decade.
Yeah. He has been the butt of a few stoner jokes.
Yeah. But I mean, we will always know him as that one character in Dazed and Confused.
Healing engaged.
The thing I love about high school girls is that I get older and they stay the same age.
I'll probably see Interstellar when it comes out.
Yes, Interstellar looks fantastic. I have a feeling that's going to be a little bit like... I have a feeling we're probably going to get a little bit of kind of Space Odyssey-esque.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely looks
like mental, psychological trips and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got for movies. So, I mean, unless you guys have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, really. I think my stuff I can probably just tack on.
We
next
we
week.
could go on about a lot of things.
Yeah,
but
so I'm gonna bench my stuff for next week.
yeah, we need content for next week.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I will take this time though to say that podcasting is not the only thing we have planned for you guys. We have many things. We have many things that we're going to be planning, but I'm going to keep it a surprise.
Yes, just cock tease them a bit.
Yes, yeah, it's like I'm not going to fully fillet them. Just tickle their balls a bit.
Oh my.
Just don't tug down when they're about to climax.
No, I'm not even going to get them the climax. We'll get them close, but then stop.
Oh, okay.
You're edging them.
Yes.
This went from R to NC-17.
No, it's still R because it's sexual dialogue. It's not.
Oh, right.
Situations.
Right. Yes.
We basically just made the same kind of jokes that Seth Rogen makes in all the movies he writes. Just a ton of dick jokes.
Yes.
It's an hour and a half of dick jokes.
Well, you know what? For this hour and however many minutes passed of dick jokes, I'm Lou.
I'm Jason.
This has been Morning Mood, the episode 2.
You mean morning mood?
Morning wood.
Morning wood.
Did I say morning wood?
No, you said morning mood.
Did I say morning mood?
You said morning mood.
For episode 2 of Penis the Podcast. Remember, guys, if you liked it, subscribe to it. Comment below. Tell us what we missed in the news, what you want to hear more about. And if you guys
call
have
us
anything
assholes.
Yes, call us assholes. Say this was the most unprofessional thing I've ever heard.
We love it.
We
It turns
love
us
it.
on.
We feed
I mean-
off of it. I think about Samus when I'm masturbating.
Yes. Comment about Samus too. I want to know.
Yeah, Gimli wants to know. Gimli wants to know about it. All right. Hey, guys. Tune in next week. See ya.
Why?
Why?